I was invited to do what I thought was a talk to like bankers or something at a resort. And instead of me going out on stage to do a talk, they brought these 5 guys into the green room who started peppering me with all these questions about the digital future, Bitcoin or Ethereum and augmented reality or virtual reality. I figured it was one of these things where it's just these 5 billionaires looking for, investment strategies from someone who's on the ground in the cyber revolution. And eventually they got around to the question of, Alaska or New Zealand. Right? So they wanted to know mainly how to prepare for the inevitable collapse of society. And the question we spent most of the time on was, how do I maintain control of my security force after the event? Because their money's going to be worthless and these guys will turn on them. And it just struck me that here are the wealthiest and most powerful men I've ever encountered, yet they feel utterly powerless to influence the digital future. That the best they can do is prepare for the inevitable collapse and, insulate themselves from the reality that they're creating by earning money in the way they're earning it. And it was sad, but it was indicative of the way these folks are thinking. The high-level billionaires like the Elon Musks and Jeff Bezos, they want to get off the planet altogether, really just leave us behind. But the mid-level billionaires who can't afford rocket ships, they want to build, bunkers and secret communities and get robot guards and, and to protect themselves from the rest of us.
Hey, all right, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, and Dash. I want to say and give double honors to the apostles and bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching His word and truth and sincerity for ruling well. And salutations to the elect, Lord willing, with some of those men and women. And I'm my brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson. And it was inspired by this video that I let it play in its entirety and to the end so that I can speak upon it. And it shows you the mindset of the elite, the wealthy elite here in America and abroad. Like what we're saying, these words that we're saying are true. Matter of fact, let me get a precept real quick. I was going to start off with Revelation 6 and 16, but I'll go back. This is the book of Jeremiah 28 and 8, right? Jeremiah 28 and 8, and it reads, the prophets that have been before me of old, let me read that again. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and evil and pestilence, right? And the wealthy elite, they're listening to what was being said by us, the prophets, starting with the apostles and the bishop elders, right? They're preparing, right? They're getting prepared, and the Lord is getting the aristocrats of Israel, Yasha Allah, to prepare. We're preparing what? Spiritually, right? For this cataclysmic judgment that's coming. And it was prophesied in the scriptures that these elite will try to hide from the destruction that's coming, right? Because like he said, you got high-level billionaires, you got mid-level billionaires, and what are they preparing for? The inevitable, right? They want to try to maintain control over the people. That's another reason for the chip, the RFID microchip, because the dollar's going to collapse. So they're going to need something to control these people, right? They got private armies. If mid-level Edomites, wealthy elite, have private armies, you can only imagine what the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the Oppenheimers, these super elite families, what they have, right? But they got to find a way to control them, because money ain't going to be the thing no more. What we call money today, fiat currency, right? So that's what that chip is all about. That's just total control. Like Alex Jones said to Aaron Russo, when Aaron Russo explained to him that the new form of money is going to be on chips, and everybody will have these implantable chips in their hands, because these elite want to control you, right? They want you to continue to do their business, right? I think it was Edward Griffin that said, what do you give a man that has everything in the world? Well, what is left for him? And it's power over people, all right? And these elite, they're getting scared. They are scared. They're not getting scared. They are afraid. They are frightened, right? Because they've been in the shadows doing their wickedness, right? They haven't been on the front scene, but when this thing collapses, and it is going to collapse, right? Controlled demolition. These elite, they're going to be scared. They're running for their lives already, right? And they want to know how to what, like he said, they want to know how to control their forces that they have down there. Since money is not going to be available, then they say they're trying to escape the earth, but you're not going to be able to escape the earth. I think it was like last year, the year before, you had Jeff Bezos sending private billionaires into the upper atmosphere to see how long they can stay up there. All that's coming down, man, because there's no escape from the Lord. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6 and 16. Revelation 6 and 16. Okay? And it reads, matter of fact, I'm going to start up. This is Revelation 6 and 14, because this is during the destruction, the nuclear destruction. And the heaven, matter of fact, let me read up a little bit. Verse 12. It says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth, and became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, right? Because the nuclear missiles are going to cover the sky. They're going to explode over the upper atmospheres of these different cities, countries like America, right? And they're going to darken the sky, and it's going to be a huge earthquake. The earth going to whirl to and fro like a drunkard. And the stars of heaven fell to the earth as a fig casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And it says the stars of the sky fell to the earth like green figs, and those stars are nuclear missiles, right? And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place, because these nuclear missiles are going to explode at a high rate. Over 200 million warheads are going to explode over America. The forces of it too. The force of that's going to shake the earth, right? Verse 15. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in dens in the rocks of mountains. These are those underground, deep underground military bases. These are those shelters that these super elite, only the super elite can afford. Verse 15 says, then every one of the kings of in the NLT, then every one of the kings of the earth, and the rulers of the generals, the wealthy and powerful, and every slave and free person, all hid themselves in the caves and among the rocks of the mountains, right? So these super elite, they got slaves. They got people that they have in total control over. Even these people that believe that they're free. These are wealthy. Along with them, they're going to be hiding. And said to the mountains, back in the KJV, and said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Right? So they're basically going into these seeking these underground shelters. Seeking these underground shelters to hide from the Lord. But you ain't going to be able to hide that long, because we're going to come get you. Right? Your forces, they're not going to be able to withstand the force of Yahweh Shem Shai. And that's why, I've heard Apostle Tahar mention this in the past, speaking about once we get them spiritual powers, our bodies have changed, and we get those spiritual powers, we're endowed with power, we're going to come down from out of heaven, and we're going to take over the earth. And these people are going to try to fight us. But if all the militaries are destroyed, who are the people that's going to fight us? Well, you're going to have these wealthy, super elite secret armies, man. Right? And he said it. The guy even said it. They want robots down there. They want robots down there because they ain't got to pay a robot. They want those mechanical things equipped with weapons to fight on their behalf. But that's not going to be able to save you in this thing, right? Because the scriptures speak about that real quick. Right, this is Jeremiah 16 and 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of all the holes of the rocks, right? So right now we're fishermen, but the Lord's going to turn us into hunters. When we get those new bodies, we get that power, we're going to be turned into hunters, man. And we're going to hunt all these super elite, wealthy individuals that are hiding, these Edomites that are hiding, right? Because you're not being judged because you're wealthy. No, you're being judged for the wickedness that you've done. Right? All the evil that you put on this earth. And you're going to be the first fruits of slavery. Somebody got to be the first fruits of slavery. Where it's going to be super elites. And so we're going to hunt you up out of them places that you're hidden out of. Right? It says, but in the NLT, but now I am sending for many fishermen who will catch them, says the Lord. Yahweh Shah. I'm sending for hunters who will hunt them down in the mountains, hills, and caves. So everywhere these super elite are hiding at, they're going to do what I thought. Everywhere they're hiding at, they're going to be hunted. Whether you hiding in the upper atmosphere in these space stations, the private ones, the national ones, whether you deep down in the military bases, underneath of the ground, whether you in underwater caves you hiding under, we're going to get you. And this is what the super elite are afraid of. Why? Because they know that something's happening. And we're telling you what's happening. We're prophesying to you that evil times is coming, war is coming, pestilence is coming, the destruction of this man's society, the kingdom of the Gentiles, the kingdom of the Edomites is done. And while these Edomites are trying to prepare carnally, we're preparing spiritually for these things that are coming upon the earth. Right? And you see it. You see the angst in the wealthy elite. You see the fear. You see the dread. Right? They see the prophets all over the place. So they're scared of shit. And they see prophecy being fulfilled. Whether they want to admit it to you or not, that's not to be seen. Because they know what time it is. The Rothschilds, the super elite, they know. They're not living in America. Right? Like he said, you got different tiers of billionaires, man. You got billionaires. And Elon Musk, he's a low-level billionaire too. So is the dude, what's his guy? Jeff Bezos, man. He ain't going to be able to hide from this. The super elite going to use them niggas as a shield. Right? Oh, get those guys. They think that because they're wealthy and everybody knows they're wealthy, well, we'll leave them out there to dry while we hide in the back. Nah, nigga, we got a list of every one of you super elite Edomites, and you're going to get it. And you can't hide from the Lord. You can't hide from the judgment. Right? You can't run from it. And you ain't got enough money to pay your force or anybody. Right? Because the scripture says this about your riches. James 5:1. It says, go now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. This is not talking about Denzel Washington, Jay-Z, what's that nigga name, Michael Jordan, Robert Smith. Them niggas ain't rich. Talking about the super elite. Your riches are corrupted. Your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered. And the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. In the NLT it says, in verse 2-3, your wealth is rotten away. Your fine clothes are moth-eaten, because that's what's going to happen when them devils are in them bunkers for a time. And we come get them after they're going to be visited. Right? Your gold and silver have become worthless. It is going to be worthless because nobody's going to want that shit. Right? We ain't going to have no need for that shit. The earth is ours, man. And everything in it. Right? So these devils, they're going to get it. Your gold and silver have become worthless. The very wealth you were counting on will eat away your flesh like fire. This treasure you have accumulated will stand as evidence against you on a day of judgment. And they're going to be found with it. Right? So that's what they're trying to escape. The day of judgment. But they're not going to escape it. There's no way that you could hide. Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. Didn't know that was a soundtrack to your destruction. Okay? So I just wanted to bring this out. I thought it was extremely edifying. And this shows you the psyche of the wealthy here in this country, man. While Jake trying to bullshit and play and try to live like the Edomite, Esau's trying to escape. Right? Esau's trying to hide because he knows the judgment that's coming to him. These wealthy elites, they got these meetings they have. They know that judgment's coming. And they want to escape it. But there is no escape from the judgment of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So with that, I'm going to say shalom and on to the next.